Thanks for joining us, even remotely. All right, do a little smooth jazz on a Monday morning. Good morning, my name's Scott, and I'm going to be guiding you through this hour of Flow Foundation. And we'll begin as we always do, seated, comfortably seated with a tall spine. A sip of breath in as you pinch those shoulders up towards the ears, and then as you exhale, allow them to slide back and down. The palms can rest gently on your thighs or by your side or whatever feels comfortable. And I was kidding around the other day, but I was talking to someone about yoga, and I said, you know, yoga may be just something that somebody came up with to keep our body busy while we focus on our breathing. But then I thought about it, and it's really, there's a lot of truth to that. This principle, this practice really is about turning in, exploring those areas within us that we don't necessarily give attention. And we do that through the breath, through mindfully paying attention to the present moment within the poses and between the poses. So we honor that by beginning with our breath today. Breathing in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing briefly. And relax, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing at the bottom. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now on your own, let's just take a minute or so and just drop into where we are right now. Starting this practice anew with a beginner's mind, even if you've done this exact flow 1,000 times, every time you step onto the mat, I encourage you to do it with a beginner's mind, open to the possibility of new experiences. Just this breath as we breathe in, and just this breath as we release. One more inhale in, and now on the next exhale, maybe opening the eyes, plant those hands gently on the mat in front of you and step back to a tabletop position. Again today, marrying our breath with our movement, every move, every pose. And we'll begin inhaling and dropping that belly and drawing the chin up. The gaze comes forward for cow. Then release that breath, dropping the head, the spine curves, the tail tucks slightly for cat. Inhale, gently flowing forward to cow. Exhale, releasing, allowing that back to rise. And now on your own for a few cat-cows, finding the stretch, finding the place that your body needs attention, marrying the breath to each movement mindfully. And then returning to a neutral tabletop as we prepare to warm up our wrists and our shoulders. You can pivot those wrists 90 or maybe even 180 degrees if it's in your practice. And simply begin to rock on those wrists, allowing your shoulders maybe to go back and forth, forward and back. maybe small circles as you start to stir the pot. Be sure now to reverse that stir in the opposite direction to balance out. And then returning those hands to a neutral position facing forward. A sip of breath in as you tuck your toes. And with an exhale, extend the hips up and back for the first down dog of the morning. Begin to walk out your dog, bending, alternating those legs. As one knee bends, the opposite leg straightens a little bit and pushing the heel down and back. Explore that straightening. See if you can straighten both legs and push those heels back and down. Pushing forward with those hands, biceps by our ears. Breathing with purpose. Inhale, pull those hips and heels high, and on the exhale, pivot on the balls of your feet and allow the heels to drop to the right side of the mat. You might even straighten that left leg behind a bent right knee, feeling the right side body opening, or I should say the left side body opening this morning. One more sip of breath in. And with an exhale, returning to that neutral down dog. Again, on the inhale, hips high, and now pivoting and dropping those heels to the left, bringing a straight right leg behind a bent left knee, opening the right side body. Shoulders are square to the front of the room as you inhale. Then with an exhale, returning to neutral down dog. The gaze comes slightly forward as you inhale and now shift forward into a plank. And let's take a full breath cycle here. Exhale, engage that core. Inhale. And on the exhale, the hips come up and back, down dog. See if those heels can come another millimeter closer to the mat. If they never reach the mat, it doesn't matter, as long as you're feeling the stretch in the back of your hamstrings. Gaze comes forward one more time. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Engage that core, and on the exhale, allow your hips to come up and back for downward facing dog. Gaze comes forward, and as you inhale, maintain your palms on the mat as long as you can and begin to tiptoe forward for a forward fold. If your hands come off the mat, that's fine. Allow your gravity and the weight of your head and upper body to do the work this morning. Just allow it to drape over their thighs for forward fold. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows for a ragdoll. Straightening one leg as the other leg bends. Noting that your hips will shift from one side to the other. And just allow the upper body to follow the hips as you alternate these leg straightening. On the next exhale, release those hands to the mat and then let them find one another at the small of your back, interlacing your fingers. As you inhale, push the hands away behind towards the back wall, and with an exhale, lift them up towards the ceiling for our shoulder opener. Take it easy. We're just warming up now. There's no need to go too deep. A sip of breath in, and with an exhale, allow those hands to gently find the mat for forward fold. See if you can now press your chest a little bit closer to those thighs as we now engage the core. On the inhale, allow your hands to come to your shins for a long spine. Spine is straight, gaze is forward. Inhale, and with an exhale, lower to forward fold. Rotate the palms forward, a slight bend in the knees. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead for high mountain. Grounding through the right foot, reaching with the right hand for star catchers. Opening the right side as we stretch and stretch and stretch. Exhale, release back to that neutral high mountain. Grounding through the left foot now. Reaching through with the left fingertips for the ceiling. And releasing. Finally, the gaze comes up. The arms both reach towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, And now exhale, those palms find one another and meet in heart center. Again, we breathe through and within and between the poses. I encourage you to set your intention or set a intention. Perhaps it's a simple phrase, just breathe. Breathe through my practice. Maybe dedicate today's positive energy that you're about to generate to someone in your life that could use that energy. Pause for a moment and consider your intention. And with an inhale, as we exhale, setting that intention, allowing our hands to drop to our side for mountain pose. Inhale, sweeping those arms up and overhead for high mountain. As you exhale, hands meet through heart center as you find forward fold. With an inhale, bend those knees and now step back with the right foot for high lunge. The hips are square, that back leg is long. And if I could draw a line up your back leg and along your spine, it would be a nice, strong, long line. Inhale. Exhale, plant those hands on the mat, step the left foot back for downward facing dog. As you inhale, pivot forward to plank, and now with control, as you exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Untuck those toes, the tops of your toes push down and into the mat. And for baby cobra on the inhale, just simply peel that chin and maybe just a smidgen of your chest off the mat. Hold for a moment, another sip of breath in. And as you exhale with control, slowly lower the chin to the mat. Engage those palms and push back up to a tabletop. Those hips will come all the way back now to your heels for child's pose. Child's pose is always here for us. It's a place to refresh, renew, or refocus. If at any time today, regardless of what everybody else is doing, regardless of what your ego says, it's always a good and right time for child's pose. And when you're ready, you can simply rejoin the class wherever we are. One more inhale. Exhale, returning to tabletop. Tucking those toes, and on the exhale, the hips come up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, that right leg sweeps high, long and straight. The hips are square, the toes are pointed down. And as you exhale, that right foot comes forward to meet the right thumb for high lunge on the other side. On the inhale, checking your alignment, checking your position. The hips are square. Strong base. And now on the exhale, plant those hands to the mat, step forward for forward fold. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, releasing down to forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead for high mountain, maybe even finding our tiptoes for a second. Dropping those heels now and allowing those hands to meet, come all the way through heart center, all the way down to forward fold. Inhale for a slight bend in those knees, and now stepping back with our left leg, preparing for pulsing lunges. As you exhale, draw the hips back as the right leg straightens. Inhale forward to your lunge. Exhale back, straightening the legs, hips are square. Forward to the lunge. Exhale once more, back to that straightened leg, drawing the forehead towards those toes. And as you exhale, bending the knee, planting the hands, stepping back for downward facing dog. On the inhale, shifting forward to plank, and now again, slowly as you exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, engage those palms, and on the inhale, pushing up to a full cobra, the hips come forward and down and into the mat. One more sip of breath in, gaze is forward, and with an exhale, slowly control, bring your chin, forehead back down to the mat, tucking those toes, engaging those legs, inhale. And now at the bottom of the exhale, pushing up to a plank, or use your knee to help you get up to a plank. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. And now on the exhale, left foot finds the left thumb. Again, preparing for pulsing lunges. The exhale, draw those hips back as we straighten the lead leg, drawing the forehead towards those toes. Inhale, forward to a bent high lunge. Exhale, hips come up and back. Inhale, forward to lunge. One more time, the exhale, hips up and back. See if you can draw that forehead even closer for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bend the leg, plant the hands, bring the right foot forward for that forward fold. Inhale to a long spine. Pause for a moment. Feel that flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping all the way up to high mountain. And as we exhale, hands meet through heart center, coming all the way down for a forward fold. Inhale, slight bend in the knees. Now stepping back with the right foot for that high lunge, preparing for sweeping crescents. On the inhale, check your alignment, check your hips are square. And as you exhale, draw the arms back by your rib cage, palm is face down. Inhale, sweep those arms up for crescent. Exhale, back and down. The breath and the movement are married. Inhale, sweeping up. And as we reach the top, sinking the hips down a little bit. Exhale, release the hands slowly down by our side with control. One more time. Inhale, up to our highest, sinking those hips maybe another inch and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, plant the hands, step back with that left foot to a plank. With control, as you exhale, lower halfway down for chaturanga, and now push all the way back up to plank. Slowly exhale, release your body all the way to the mat. Untuck those toes, slide those palms maybe another 2 or 3 inches closer to your hips. And as we inhale, pushing up for an up dog. Your toes and your palms are the only parts that are touching the body. The shoulders slide back and down. The gaze is slightly up. One more sip of breath in, and on an exhale, tuck the toes and push up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot sweeps high. And now exhale, the right foot finds the right thumb. As you exhale, pulling the hips up and back, straightening the lead leg for side forward bend. Inhale to grow that spine a little longer and straighter. And on the exhale, drawing the forehead closer to those toes. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly bending the front knee, stepping forward with the left foot. Forward fold. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, release to the forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And as we prepare for our first back bend, shift the hips forward slightly to help our balance. And now on the exhale, slide the shoulders back and down as we glide into our first back bend for 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming back up to center. And as we exhale, the hips come back and down as we sit into our chair. The weight comes into the heels. The biceps frame the ears. Maybe pull and rotate the pinkies towards one another as you rotate those arms. As you inhale, grow slightly taller. Exhale. And now release. Hands come to the mat. Bend the knees, step back with the left leg for high lunge. Preparing for sweeping crescents, drawing the arms back by our ribs and tight palms down. Inhale, sweeping those arms up for that high crescent. Exhale, down and back, maintaining balance. Inhale, sweeping up, sinking those hips forward and down. Exhale, release, arms come back. And one more time, all the way up to our fullest, sinking those hips down and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, the hands come to the mat. Step that right foot back for plank, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Tuck those toes, exhale, push up and back to downward facing dog. That's our flow today. Any variation you want to take, it could be cobra, it could be baby cobra, whatever works for you. Use the flow that works. Inhale, sweep that left leg high. And on the exhale, the left foot finds the left thumb, drawing the hips up and back as we straighten the left leg. Inhale, the spine grows long, and as you exhale, draw that forehead, that crown towards that left toe, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward to a forward fold. Now listen carefully, changing it up a little bit, drawing your chest closer to your thighs. And now as you exhale, allow those hips to sit back and down as you draw your biceps by your ears, moving into chair, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, allow those hands to come to the mat. Preparing for our first step back or jump back. You might even move your feet back an inch or two to give you some room. At the bottom of your exhale, step or jump back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale, back for downward facing dog. Inhale, that right leg sweeps high. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. Engage the core, rising to warrior 1. Our biceps frame those ears again. The back foot comes to 10 o'clock on the dial. Allow those shoulders to slide back and down as the heart opens to the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. One more sip of breath in. And now on the exhale, opening to the left side of the room, the right hand comes forward, the left arm is back. Left foot is now to 9 o'clock on the dial. The gaze is over those right fingers. Inhale, exhale, reach forward towards the front of the room, and now flip the palm up, and then exhale, reversing our warrior, drawing that right bicep to your ear as the left hand drops to your thigh. Feeling the stretch all the way from your hip through your right fingertips. One more sip of breath in to grow a little bit taller and longer. And now on the exhale, releasing, windmilling the hands down to the mat, planting that left hand next to your foot. As you inhale, the right hand finds your hip or your lower back, and your shoulder stack as you rotate to the right side of the room. On your exhale, allow that arm to float to the sky and feel the length from your right palm all the way through, your left palm all the way through those right fingertips. One more sip of breath in. Exhale, release, right hand comes to the mat. Step back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale, back for downward facing dog. Inhale, now sweeping the left foot high, long, and straight. Exhale, the left foot finds the left thumb, engaging the core, rising now to warrior 1. Hips are square to the front, shoulders slide back and down, the chest is open. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper into warrior 1. One more sip of breath in. Exhale, allow the body to open to the right side of the room as your back foot comes to 3 o'clock. The gaze is over those left fingertips. Your back leg is long and engaged. Inhale, reach forward towards the front of the room, flip the palm, and on the exhale, draw your left bicep to your ear, reversing that warrior. Use the inhale to grow a little bit longer, and one more exhale to grow a little bit deeper into that stretch. Releasing now, windmilling the hands down to the mat, planting the right hand next to your foot. The left hand finds the lower back or your rib cage as you pivot to the left, opening and releasing the left hand high, reaching for the ceiling and hold for 3, 2, 1, releasing the left hand, stepping back to plank. Take your flow and meet me in down dog. Inhale, sweep that right leg high. Exhale, right foot to the right thumb. On the inhale, immediately rising to warrior 1. Check your alignment, check your position. And now exhale, opening to warrior 2 to the left side of the room. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, begin to straighten that lead leg, pivoting and reaching forward. And when you can reach no more, allow your body to pivot and drop that right hand to the floor, a block, or your shin for standing triangle. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, slight bend in that lead leg as you allow your hands to reverse For reverse triangle, your right bicep finds your right ear. Re-straighten that lead leg now. The right toes push towards the front of the room as your right fingertips reach for the back. Feel that stretch all the way through your side body for one more breath in. And as we release, bend the front leg, bring your forearm to your thigh. Left bicep finds your ear for extended side angle. Inhale to grow longer in that spine, and with an exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper and feel that stretch along your side body. Exhale, release, allow those hands to come to the mat, dropping the back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, allow them to meet at prayer center. On the inhale, grow tall through that spine and begin to pivot to the right side of the room. And on the exhale, hook your elbow on the outside of that right thigh for low lunge prayer twist. Find your deepest expression, gazing over that back shoulder for 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, bring those hands back to the mat. Step back to plank. Take your flow back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot sweeps high. Exhale, left foot finds the left thumb, and then now rising to warrior one on the inhale. Immediately on the exhale, opening to the right side of the room for warrior two. As you straighten that lead leg, begin to pivot and reach forward as your back hip finds the back of the room. When you can reach no further, allow that left hand to come to the mat, a block, or your shin for standing triangle. Breathing through this pose. Inhale. Exhale. A slight bend in that lead leg now, reversing that triangle. Draw the right hand to your thigh, the left bicep by your ear, straightening that left leg, pushing those left toes forward and down as the left fingertips reach up and back. One more sip of breath in, deepest expression. Exhale, bending the left leg, bringing your forearm to your thigh, your right bicep by your ear for extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release, bring your hands to the mat. Drop the back knee. As you inhale, the arms sweep up and over your head. And on the exhale, they meet through heart center. On the inhale, grow tall in the spine. And with an exhale, pivot to the left side of the room, hooking your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh for low lunge prayer twist. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Hands come to the mat, stepping back to plank, taking your flow. Meeting me in down dog. We're almost there, guys. You look fantastic this morning. A sip of breath in as we bring that right leg high. Listen carefully. On the exhale, bring the right foot to the center of the mat. And as you do that, engage the core, straighten the right leg, draw the hips up and back, rising as if you were coming to a high mountain, your biceps by your ears. On the exhale, allow your hands to drop by your side and they join one another at the small of your back, fingers interlaced, or you can even grab opposite elbows. On the inhale, grow tall through that spine. Hips are square to the front of the room, and now exhale, hinging forward from those hips, drawing the forehead towards those toes. Another sip of breath in. Exhale, see how far you can bring your forehead for 3, 2, 1. Releasing, slight bend in that front leg. Allow your hands to frame your ears, engage, coming back up. And now, as you exhale, releasing the left arm forward, the right arm back for standing twist. Inhale, the spine comes slightly longer. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, release the arms back up over your head, dropping that right hand to your hip, growing tall through that left arm. Inhale. And as you exhale with squared hips, begin to hinge forward And when you can hinge no further, allow that left hand to drop to the mat, a block, or your shin. On the inhale, begin to open your heart to the right side of the room, stacking those shoulders. And if it's in your practice and you're ready, release that right arm up tall to the ceiling for revolve triangle and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, hands to the mat. Step back for plank. Take your flow. Meet me in down dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, left foot to the left. Left foot to the center of the mat. You guys got me. Engaging the core, framing the ears with your biceps, rising up for that high mountain. And as you exhale, releasing the hands to the small of your back, either grabbing opposite elbows or interlacing your fingers. Inhale to grow tall, push those fingers down and away, square the hips. And as you exhale, hinging forward, drawing your forehead towards those toes. Maybe one more sip of breath in, and as you exhale, drawing even closer and hold. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, drawing those arms by your ears, lifting back up. And on the exhale now, the right arm comes forward and the left arm finds its way to the back of the room for standing twist. Grow tall through that spine. Exhale, grow a little bit deeper into your twist. And release, the arms come back up overhead. Left hand drops to the left hip, growing tall through that right arm. Hips are square now. And as you exhale, hinging forward, and then dropping that right hand to the mat, a block, or the shin. Opening your heart to the left, stacking those shoulders, and then on the exhale, maybe releasing that left arm up long and tall for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Hands come back to the mat. Take your flow. Meet me in downward facing dog. From down dog, you can drop down to those knees, towel off, take a sip of water. Even though it's not as hot as it normally is in here, make sure you drink a lot. You don't want to get dehydrated. I will practice what I preach. Meet me in a tabletop, please. As you inhale, tuck those toes, and on the exhale, hips come up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps high, and on the exhale, the right foot finds the right thumb. Now, bring that right hand inside of your right foot and heel toe the right foot to the edge of the mat. You can drop that back knee, or you can keep it long and engaged. This is lizard pose. The hips come forward and down. I see many variations this morning, whatever variation is in your practice. Let's take 3 full breath cycles. Each exhale, see if you can find a deeper expression, opening the hips. One more sip of breath in. And if you're on your forearms, begin to walk back up into your palms. If full splits is in your practice, go ahead and transition in. Otherwise, stacking those hips high over that left knee. As you straighten the right leg, engage the toes, draw them back towards you. Exhale, hinging forward, drawing your crown of your head towards those toes, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing, meeting me in that low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over. And as you exhale, drop the right hand to your right knee. The hips come forward and down. As you exhale and allow the shoulders to slide back for that low lunge back bend. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Those hands find their way to the mat. Tuck that back toe and push up and back for downward facing dog. See if you can bring those heels even closer to the back of the mat as we're beginning to feel our muscles warm and grow longer. Take a breath in. Release. One more inhale, and now that left leg sweeps high. On the exhale, the left foot finds the left thumb. Again, bring the left hand inside the left foot, heel toe that foot to the edge of the mat. And whatever lizard variation you took on the first side, do the same here. The hips come forward and down, opening the hips. One more breath in. If you're on your forearms, you might bring yourself back up to your palms, transitioning into that full splits if it's in your practice. Otherwise, drawing the hips up, stacking them over that right knee. The left leg is long and straight. The toes are engaged. And now, as you exhale, draw the crown of your head towards those toes and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, coming forward to that low lunge. As you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And now, as you exhale, release the left hand to the left knee for balance and support for low lunge back bend. Inhale to grow taller through the chest, and with an exhale, allow the shoulders to slide back and down for low lunge back bend and hold. Releasing your hands to the mat. Listen carefully. Stepping the right foot forward, coming to a forward fold. We've been on the ground for a while. We're about to come all the way up, so just take it nice and slow. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and over for high mountain as we get ready for standing balance. Maybe you might want to step off of your mat for additional stability. Again, arms are overhead in high mountain. As you exhale, allow those arms to sweep down. The right arm comes under the left arm for eagle pose. Joining your palms together, thumbs point back towards you, or your hands can find your shoulders. Inhale, draw those elbows a little higher so they're almost level with your shoulders. And on the exhale, sit back and down, grounding through the left foot now, finding your balance. Begin to slowly draw your right foot up and over. And now you can either kickstand, or you can hook, or you can hang those right toes sinking down for 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, coming out of the pose the same way we can, allowing that right foot to find the mat once more. Good job, guys. That looked great. Inhale, those arms are back up overhead one more time. And as we exhale, the left arm now is under the right for eagle pose, drawing those elbows a little higher, square with the shoulders. As you exhale, sitting back and down, grounding through the right foot this time, gently raising the left leg up and over. Those toes can touch, they can dangle, they can tuck. As you exhale, sinking maybe another inch and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly unwinding, releasing. That left foot gently finds its way back to the mat. Outstanding. Good work today. All right, moving on to standing bow. Inhale, sweep both arms up once more to that high mountain. And this time, allow your right hand to drop to your side, palm face out, thumb to the back of the room. Bend that right leg and allow and catch the inside of that right ankle. This is the pose. As you inhale, grow taller through that left arm. And if you would like, you can begin to exhale, hinging from the hips as you push and kick back into that right hand and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and allow that right foot to find the mat. The right hand is high, the left hand is by your side, palm face out, thumb points to the back of the room. Bending the left leg now, catching the inside of the left ankle. As you inhale, grow tall through that right arm as you push and kick into the left hand. You may begin to shift forward, finding balance through that right leg. As you kick into that back leg, you will find more stability and balance. And hold. 3, 2, 1. Release slowly. Beautiful job, guys. All right. preparing for our inversions today, go ahead and towel off. If you'd like to find a space on the wall, now's a good time to shift. I will cue for forearm balance. And if forearm balance is not in your practice, all you need to worry about today is extending the leg out long and strong, engaging that core and pulsing the leg. Or maybe even if you're feeling adventurous, maybe a slight donkey kick. Meet me in that tabletop position now, dropping the forearms to the mat, moving into dolphin pose. Tuck the toes, push the hips up and back as if you were in down dog. Tiptoe towards your chest as far as you can, stacking those hips. And now extend the right leg out long and straight and take either 5 pulses, engaging that core, or maybe if you want, kicking up for that inversion. Good job, good job. And after you've done 5 pulses, you can bring those knees back down to the ground again for child's pose. Take a quick sip of air. Beautiful, nice job. On the other leg, see if you can keep this, try to keep your head off the ground and see if you can put the weight into your forearms. Now, yes, so that you're actually not depending upon your head for the stand, okay? It is harder, but it's much healthier and it's safer. All right, once more, meeting me in that dolphin pose. The forearms are on the ground, the toes are tucked, the hips are up and back. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is to walk those toes in. Don't make this any harder for you than it has to be. And when you reach that dolphin pose and your hips are slightly stacked, extending that left leg long and strong and either pulsing that left leg or maybe having a couple of donkey kicks here. And when you find that 5th donkey kick or that 5th pulse, bringing those knees back down to the mat. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, with dignity, poise, and grace, just go ahead and swing those feet out in front of you. We'll get some core work in today. How's everybody feeling? You look great. All right, our first core exercise is, if you're one of my regulars, you know it's one of my favorites. We're going to start off with some flutter kicks. So laying back on the mat, hands by your side. You can even scoot your hands slightly under your tush for a little bit of support. The legs are long and straight, and we're going to lift them together about 6 inches off the ground. So now lift those heels, and this is a 4-count exercise, and we'll start with the left foot. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Those feet come together. They're 6 inches off the ground. Core is engaged for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Allow those heels to find the ground. Pull those knees into your chest to give them a quick squeeze. Maybe rock left and right, and a little massage on the lower part of your back. And since I got you here, I might as well tell you, push those feet to the ceiling. Straighten your leg as much as you can. And if they're not straight, that's fine. Just keeping those bottoms of your feet towards the ceiling. And now we're going to climb our way out of this hole with some rope climbs. Right hand finds the left foot. Grab that imaginary piece of rope, pull it down, alternate left foot to the right, pulling that rope. Ready, begin. 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. One more and hold. One more and hold. And then release, bringing those knees in. Good job. Now, if you're adventurous, keep those knees tucked in tight, crossing your ankles, all right? And begin to rock forward and back. And as you do so, building momentum. When you get enough momentum, you can flip over those feet, plant your hands, jump back to a plank, and then lower to your belly. Or you can just meet me on your belly. Let those hands come back alongside of you. The palms are face down. Take a quick breather here. All right, chin comes to the mat, or forehead comes to the mat. And now, as you inhale, gently pulling that chin up off the mat. Maybe your chest comes up. A sip of breath in and hold for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly with control lowering that mat. We never dump out of this. So when we release, we come down slowly, okay? You can bring that chin back to the mat one more time. And now we're going to get a little deeper into our locus. As we inhale, drawing that chin and chest up one more time. Another sip of breath in. We find our feet now leaving the ground. Exhale. One more sip of breath in. Those hands now are up. We're flying that locust. The shoulders draw back and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing that forehead, chin back down to the mat. Good job. Good job. All right, next is Sphinx pose. You know I call this cheater's pose, right? Because I don't know if you're doing it. Only you do. It all happens on the inside. Those 4, everybody's already there. You're a step ahead of me. That belly button comes in tight towards the spine on the inhale. And as you exhale, the hips come forward and down into the mat. The heart opens as you draw those elbows back towards your hips. That counter twist and that counter energy, and hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly releasing now. The head comes back to the mat. Pushing up now to a tabletop, and allow those hips to come all the way back to your heels as we prepare for cowboy. The knees spread to the edge of the mat, and the hands find their way to the mat behind us. Fingers forward, fingers back. It's your yogi's choice. As you inhale, the shins push down. The first step of this is the shins push down into the mat. And as you exhale, allow those hips to come up. As you open the heart, shins down, hips up, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower those hips back down now to those heels. You can bring those hands in front of you as your knees close to one another. Sitting up on those knees now, preparing for camel. Now your knees can be close together, or you can have a small gap between them. All the way up, standing on our knees. All right. Before we move our way into this pose, let's prepare by shifting our hips slightly forward in preparation for the back bend that we're about to have, okay? Draw the hands to the small of your back, or those imaginary pockets. Draw the elbows close to one another. As you inhale, the chest opens and lifts, and now on the exhale, we lower slowly into that back bend. And if it's within your practice, you can lower one hand to one heel and one hand to the other, but there's no need to do that. This pose is perfectly fine where you are. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly rising, coming out of the pose. Exhale, release. Those hands come down to the mat. Meet me in a tabletop, tucking those toes. And as you exhale, those hips come up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps high. And on the exhale, the right knee finds the back of the right wrist, the bottom of your foot to the left side of your mat. As you exhale, you can draw those hands up towards your hips. Take a peek over your shoulder. Make sure that back leg is long and straight and in the center of your mat. A sip of breath in as we grow tall in our pigeon. And now on the exhale, you can begin to walk your hands forward. You can come to your forearms. You can stay up on your palms. You can even find your way all the way down to your chest. But wherever you're going to end up, on the inhale, monitor your alignment. And on the exhale, sink deeper. The hips come open. The chest comes forward. And let's stay here for at least 3 full breaths. One more inhale. And on that exhale, maybe coming back up onto your hands, walking your hands closer to your hips, tuck those back toes, push the hips off the ground, and now that right leg comes up and back for three-legged dog. And now there's a number of counter poses you can take. Maybe you're going to do fire hydrant. Maybe your wild thing is next. And when you're done, you can meet me in that neutral down dog. Inhale, now that left leg sweeps high, and on the exhale, the left knee finds the back of the left wrist for pigeon on the other side. Sinking those hips down into the mat, walking your hands up towards our hips for that tall, proud pigeon. Maybe one more sip of breath in as we grow taller, the chest opens. And now on the exhale, walking the hands forward, finding sleeping, resting pigeon on our forearms, on our palms, or maybe even all the way down to our chest, and simply breathing and growing deeper in this stretch. One more inhale. And then as we exhale, begin to slowly exit the pose, walking the hands back and tucking those back toes, pushing up and back now to that three-legged dog and taking that counter pose of your choice, opening those hips in the opposite direction. And then meeting me in down dog. Once more, it's a yogi's choice. You can either hop to the front of the mat on the exhale, crossing the legs and sitting down, or you can simply swing those hips around, the legs come to the front of the mat, out in front of you. Inhale, arms sweep up and overhead. We're slowing down now. We're more mindful than ever. And as we exhale, the arms come forward and we begin to hinge from our waist with a flat back towards these toes of ours. Now, if this is easy for you to grab these toes, a slight bend in the elbow and allow your forearms to press towards the mat. If you can't straighten your legs, that's okay too. Just find a way to get a hold of those big toes and draw your back towards it. On the next exhale, maybe rounding the back completely and coming as fully into this stretch as you can, and hold for just a breath. Exhale, releasing now, coming back up tall vertically. The hands are directly in front of us, parallel. Inhale. And now as we exhale, slowly lowering ourselves to the mat on our back. Beautiful. Draw those knees in tight and give them a hug. And maybe roll slightly left and right, forward and back. Just give that lower back a little bit of a massage. Now sending that left leg long and straight on the mat. Give that right knee a nice tug. The right leg long and straight on the mat. Bring this in. That goes long. There you go. As you exhale, drawing that knee into the center of your chest and squeeze, a slight release. And now exhale, draw the right knee towards your right shoulder and squeeze. And now as you exhale, release that right arm long by your side like an airplane wing. The left hand gently guides your right knee across your body. The shoulders stay square to the mat. The hips begin to stack. And now breathe through this twist. Each exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper. And And now as you release, allow those hips to come back square to the mat. The gaze comes forward, bringing both knees in for that hug. And now sending the opposite leg, that right leg, long and straight. On the exhale, pull the left knee towards the center of your chest and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, slight release. Exhale one more time, and now drawing the left knee towards that left shoulder and squeezing it in, squeezing it in. Slight release. Allow the left arm to lay out long by your side. The right hand now gently guides that left knee across your body for reclining twist. The shoulders stay flat on the mat. The gaze is to your left hand. Exhale, you come a little deeper, a little further into the stretch and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, allow those hips to come back to center. The gaze comes to the ceiling. Both knees come in one more time for a squeeze, maybe even so much so that your shoulders leave the mat, drawing your chin towards those knees for 3, 2, 1, releasing the bottoms of your feet, find the mat, and now your knees fall apart like a book opening. The bottoms of your feet meet each other. Left hand to the chest, right hand to the belly. Recline, bound angle. We're not done yet, folks. Breathe in. Breathe out. Become mindfully aware of where you are right now. An observer of yourself as you breathe consciously with purpose. One more inhale. And on the next exhale, allow those legs to go long. The feet can find the corners of the mat. The arms down by your side. Our final pose of the day, Savasana. Take a few moments. Allow your body to melt into the mat and simply